And why I'm running, of course, I hate, the Trump administration, and they're corrupt, and, the Constitution's at risk. And I think those reasons are a prerequisite for everybody running in this race. And if you're not talking about those things, I don't know why you're running, right? But for me, deep personally, I want to be able to help people in this country the way I was helped, because I grew up incredibly poor. And I think back to when I was in high school, and when I was 14 years old, I started my freshman year, and I was in all the regular classes, no honors classes. And in Texas, in those days, if you weren't in honors classes when you started high school, you were never going to be in honors classes. So my path was set from the very beginning. My future was determined, and I had no real choice about it. But I had a teacher named Betty Jackson who took it upon herself to make my life better. She didn't talk to me about what she was going to do. She didn't talk to my parents what she was going to do. She went to the counselor's office, got me moved into an honors English class midway through the school year. That never happens. And so because of Betty Jackson, I was able to register for honors classes 2 months later and graduate 13th in my class in high school. That thing that Betty Jackson did for me changed my life. It allowed me to go to Texas A&M University. It allowed me to be able to be in a position to become a captain in the Army and fight in Iraq. I got blown up, shot at. It allowed me to be a Pentagon official working on economic development in the Middle East and Afghanistan, having gone to Afghanistan 16 times. It helped me be able to get jobs in corporate industry. I've worked for 3 Fortune 100 companies, and it allowed me to become a councilman in Chatham Borough. Now, I want to be able to help people the way that Betty Jackson helped me. And how I'm going to do that is be a new kind of Democrat. A Democrat that's going to fight with specific policies that are going to help put more money in your pocket. Policies like institute a federal home loan program where you don't have to put 20% down, because we know New Jersey houses are expensive, because if you don't put 20% down, you got to pay PMI. We're going to have the program eliminate PMI. We're going to make it illegal for corporate entities and hedge funds to buy houses and take away from single families. I'm going to introduce legislation to introduce a child care coupon so that, families who are working, moms and dads, single parents, have money to be able to pay for the care of their kids. I'm going to introduce legislation to go back to the public option in the same model as the VA, because we already have a public option in this country, and it is the VA. I'm going to introduce legislation that caps APR and credit cards at 15%, because we know right now it's 25% and higher, and we all have those emergencies with broken cars and health issues, and we have to sometimes put it on our credit cards, and it puts us in debt. I'm going to go after corporations that are taking advantage of the American people. I'm also going to cap college tuition, because we want to cripple our young folks with debt. I'm going to cap the interest rate on private loans so that they don't take advantage of young people. All in all, I'm a new kind of Democrat who doesn't really care about being in the club. I care about working for the American people. And I think you as voters care more about what I'm going to work on in DC rather than the rhetoric I'm going to talk about. So when I launched my campaign, I signed a term limits pledge because I want to work for you in Washington, D.C. I'm not going to be there forever. Now, if you care about having a happy warrior, because a lot of you guys know me, I smile a lot, I'm very happy, but I'm also a fighter because I know how serious the times we're in. But if you want a fighter who's going to fight for you and your families and put money in your pockets so that you can have a chance to be able to do better than your parents or have a good retirement, I'm your guy. Now, we have a lot of great candidates in this race, but I think that you'll see, if you go to justinstrickland.com, the differences between me and the other candidates. And I hope that when you make a decision on who you want to support in this primary, that you vote for me on February 5th and give me the best birthday present I could ever have, and that is, this is my birthday. And thank you very much for being here today for allowing us to speak.